Hello everyone, we are students from University Malaysia Sabah. Our group will present an oral tenses presentation focused on SDG 14, Life Below Water.
Before we begin, let me introduce my team members. First, we have Muhammad Zazmin, followed by Nur Hafiza, Shafia Yumni Hamiza, and finally, Nurul Anis Shafika. Tada! This is us.
Let me introduce you guys to the tenses we're going to talk about. So we have three main tenses, which is present tenses, past tense, and future tenses. So for present tense, it was divided into four: simple present tense, second present continuous tense, third present perfect tense, and last but not least, present perfect continuous tense. For past tense, we have also four. First, we have simple past tense. Next, past continuous tense. Next, past perfect tense. And lastly, past perfect continuous. Last but not least, we have future tenses, which also divided into four categories. First, we have simple future tense. Next, we have future continuous tense. Thirdly, we have future perfect tense. And lastly, we have future perfect continuous tense.
We will now enter the first part of tenses that we will be discussing about, which is past tense.
Hello everyone. Let's talk about the simple past tense. One of the most common tenses we use to talk about things that happened before now. First, what do we use it for? We use the simple past tense to describe an action, an event, or a situation that start and finish completely in the past. Now, let's look at its sentence structure. To describe something positive, we use subject followed by verb and object. Here, we change the verb to its past form. Regular verb usually add ed, while irregular verb have their own special form. To describe something negative, it is just the same as the positive form, but we add did not and the verb goes back to its base form. And to question something, we start with did, then the subject, then the base verb. Let's look at our example. Philip Ludwig Statius Müller published a supplement. Here, the subject is Philip Ludwig Statius Müller and the verb is publish and the object is a supplement. It clearly tells us an action that happened and finished in the past. From the article, it states that it is in 1776. That's all for the simple past tense.
So
Thank you.
for past continuous tense, it was used to express an action that has already happening at a particular time in the past and still continue in the future. So for the structure, I have two. The first one, we have subject plus with was or were plus with verb ing. And the second one, we have subject plus with was not or were not and plus with the verb ing. So for my examples here, I took it from an article of a SDG Life Below Water Impacts on the Mangrove. So my examples here, it was highlighted they were working, which was strongly used the structure of past continuous
Hello
tense.
guys, so I'm going to explain about the past perfect tense. The structure is quite simple. For a positive sentence, we use subject plus head plus past participle. And for a negative sentence, we use subject plus head not and plus past participle. For a question, we use head plus subject and then plus past participle. Basically, the past perfect tense is mainly used to describe an action that happened before another action in the past. For example, we can see the sentence there. Scientists found that ocean health had declined faster than expected. Here, had decline is in the past perfect tense because the decline happened before the scientists found or observed it.
Let's talk about past perfect continuous tense. We use this tense to describe an action that was continuing for some time, then finish before another action start in the past. Here are the sentence structure. To describe it in positive way, we use subject plus had been plus verb in ing form. And to describe it in negative way, we just use the same as the positive one, but we change the had been into had not been. And to question something, we start with had, then the subject plus been, followed by verb in ing form. Now let's look at our example about the octopus. The octopus had been guarding them for 53 months. Here, the subject is the octopus had been, and the verb in ing form is guarding. That's all for the past perfect continuous tense.
After discussing the past tenses, let's take a look on our next topic, which is present tense.
Now let's move on to the simple present tense. We use this tense to talk about general truth, facts, or an action happening right now. Here's how we form it. To express something in positive way, we use subject plus verb with s at the end or es plus object. There is another form of positive. We use subject plus r, e, m plus past participle verb plus object. And to express it in negative way, we use subject plus do or does not plus object. And to question something, we use do, does or does plus object plus verb plus object. Now, let's look at our example. Shark skeletal systems are composed of cartilage. This is a permanent fact, always true, so we use simple present tense, perfect for explaining things that permanent. Here, shark skeletal system is the subject. Are composed is the past participle verb, and the object is cartilage. That's all for simple present tense. Thank you for listening.
Next, the present continuous tense. The present continuous tense is used to describe an action or situation that is happening now or around the present time. For example, in the sentence, worryingly, marine pollution is reaching extreme levels with over 17 million metric tons clogging the ocean in 2021, a figure said to double or triple by 2040. The present continuous tense from this sentence is reaching. The structure is subject plus am or is or are plus verb ing. In this sentence, marine pollution is the subject and is the auxiliary verb. Enriching is the main verb in the ing form. It is used here because the sentence describes a situation that is currently happening. So, is reaching shows that the situation is ongoing at the present time. Now, let's move on to the present perfect tense. For the structure, there are three forms. For the positive form, we use subject plus have or has plus past participle and object. For the negative form, we add not after have or has. And for the questions, we put have or has before the subject. The main usage of the present perfect tense is to describe a change that has happened over a period of time. For example, from the article, we can see the sentence, marine protected area coverage has increased more than tenfold since 2000. The phrase has increased shows a change that started in the past and still relevant until now. Another example is, through the centuries, people have sailed the ocean on trade routes. Here, have sailed describes an action that has happened over a period of time until the present.
So for present perfect continuous tense, it was used to describe an action, situation, event, or condition that has already begun in the past and is continued into the present. So for the structure, we have two, positive one and a negative one. So the first one, we have subject plus with have or has, plus with been, and plus with verb with an ing. For the second structure, we have subject plus with have not or has not, plus with been, and plus with verb with the ing. So for my article example here, I use the ocean provided by Bruno Vendors. The phrases of the scientific community has been working are strongly use the structure of present perfect continuous tense.
Let's move on to the next part, which is future tense.
Now let's take a look on the simple future tense, which is used to describe an action or state that will happen after the present moment. The structure consists of subject plus will or will not plus verb. To understand further regarding this tense, let's take a look into the examples provided in the slide. For the first one, the subject here is the ocean decade. The yellow highlighted word is our helping verb, and they use the word will. The blue highlighted word is our verb, and they uses the word strengthen. In the second example, the subject is I, as in the speaker themselves, and the yellow highlighted word is our helping verb again, and in this case they uses the word will not. And lastly, the blue highlighted word is our verb, and in this case they use the word I will be explaining about the future continuous tense, which is used to describe an action that will be happening in the future at a specific time. The structure is composed of subject plus will be plus the present participle of verb. Alright, let's proceed with the examples given. So for the first example, the subject here is the pressure. The yellow highlighted word, which is again our helping verb, used here is will be, and the blue highlighted word, which is our present participle of verb, is forthcoming. And then for the second example, the subject is huge amount of ocean signs, and then the yellow highlighted word, which is our helping verb, is will be, and then our present participle of verb, which is the blue highlighted word, is happening.
Next, we have the future perfect continuous tense that is used to describe an action, event, situation, or condition that continued and will be completed at some specific time in the future. So for the structure, it was subject plus with will or will not, and plus with have been, and plus with verb with the ing. So for my article examples, I use the future of our ocean, next steps and priority. So I provide two, which is positive sentences and negative sentences. For the positive one, by the next year, the
Thank
Commission
you.
will have been monitoring, which is following the positive structure. For the negative structure, we have the industry will have not been operating, which is strongly following the structure of a negative one.
Furthermore, let's deep dive into the future perfect tense. This tense is used to describe something that will be completed before a specific time in the future. The structure is subject plus will or will not have plus the past participle of verb. We shall now move to the examples in the slides. So for the first one, the subject is 3 out of 4 SDG 14 targets is due in 2020. And then our yellow highlighted word, which is our helping verb, is will not have. And then our past participle of verb, which is the blue highlighted word, in this example is been achieved. Do note that this first example is the passive sentence of future perfect tense. Next is the second example. The subject is all coastal and ocean states. The yellow highlighted word, again, our helping verb is the will have. And then our blue highlighted word, the verb is impress. Before ending the video, here's our list of references used in the slides.